Number 3, Jose at the younger guard position.
It's time for some hoops at the home of the New York Knicks. We're bringing it to you live on 2K Sports. The New York Knicks come into this one after a win against the Bucks in Milwaukee. And that was a serious blowout. Not too many people can claim that they saw that coming. New York leading by 18. And for Dallas, Curry is in at the point. Pachulia is out there with Nowitzki. Then it's Matthews, and it's Williams at the 2-guard. Lopez dishes to Anthony. And he uses the glass on the layup. Anthony's got his first 2 points of the night.
Haven't we seen that a few times today, guys? I mean, their defense has got to have a little bit more toughness about it.
Carmelo Anthony, the 3rd pick overall in the 2003 NBA draft, was in some pretty good company at the top of that one, as I recall.
I mean, you had LeBron going 1, and, of course, Darko Milicic was number 2 on that list. But how about D-Wade at 4? A little bit of a surprise, Chris Bosh. You know, all those guys, with the exception of Melo, have rings.
JaVale McGee's checked in for Dallas. The free throw drops for Pachulia.
And back to Melo's top 5 draft mates in 2003 all having rings. You can't choose the team you play for as a rookie. Melo simply hasn't been surrounded by that much talent. That's why it was somewhat surprising that he re-signed with the rebuilding Knicks team last season.
Here's Curry. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
And guys, talking about Melo, I mean, he's faced some difficult injuries here of late. That puts all the more pressure on him to win a ring as soon as possible. No way does he want to retire without that chance.
And the first one drops.
You know, you look at Dallas, and that team didn't rely too much on the mid-range or the short game last season, but they could have. They shot 70% from 12 feet and in, excluding drives. That's pretty good.
He's off on the second. For the Mavs, and that 70% shooting from 12 feet and in. A lot of dirt, high posts, and push shots from their guards will do that.
It isn't the most efficient shot by analytics, but there is a lot to be had in the mid-range. If teams only protect the 3 and the rim, you can feast on them with the little short push shots, and the Mavs did that last season.
Dallas making a switch here. Harris is checked in. Calderon against Curry. A follow goes in. Some solid defense from Harris.
And being that close to the hoop, I thought he had enough room to finish that one.
Outside Curry. Shoots from the elbow, and the call will be against Robin Lopez. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
Dallas shooting their 6th attempt at the charity stripe in the game.
And really, they haven't been able to differentiate themselves from the free throw line on the season at about 76%.
Curry against Calderon. The dish to Anthony. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. That's on Deron Williams.
You know, for Carmelo last season, it was Murphy's Law. What could go wrong did go wrong. After signing Melo to a max deal, the Knicks management expected a bunch from him, but with the new offense and a bad knee, it didn't happen.
At the line for 2.
And getting back to Carmelo last year, that team really became devoid of talent. In some games, Greg, in games that he played, he seemed like their only scoring option.
You know, we talk about needing a big 3 to compete for a championship, and for over half the season last year, the Knicks basically had a big half. I mean, because Carmelo missed that half, and when the deck is stacked against you like that, sometimes it's better to fold your cards and live to play another day, and that's really what Carmelo did.
Well, I know last year the Knicks seemed to me to be very passive offensively, and that can sometimes be the case when you're trying to learn the triangle offense, but they never seem to attack the rim at all.
It's Curry with the drive. That one's no good. That makes him 1 for 2. New York leading by 17. Here's a Flalo. That falls. Nice speed this time from Jose Calderon. 14 points for Aaron Aflalo. Greg, as you mentioned, the Knicks very shy at going to the rim last year. Really could have used that dynamic among a lot of things to their game.
Yeah, and no doubt about it. I mean, think about this. The Knicks were last in the league in drives per game as a team. And so they struggled shooting when they did attack the rim, only 42%. So those areas have to improve if this team wants to become competitive.
Lopez with the bucket.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've